Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as you're aware, we've just started the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So I rise with absolute concern about the escalating dangers faced by women, girls in our country. And that is what brought about the statement that I was seeking. The events of the past week, Madam Speaker, I want to bring this to your attention. The events of the past week has shown us that we are not dealing with isolated incidents when it comes to gender-based violence. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of violence, neglect, and institutional failure. Honorable Speaker, the matter involving Pastor James Ng'ang'a generated intense national debate. When the video circulated, the pastor came out immediately. He addressed it, reacted to it, and in many ways acknowledged the clip while making further remarks, some directed at me personally. But this is not about personalities. It's about whether the incident he described, whether many years ago or recently, involved harm to a woman whose story remains unknown. Violence does not lose its gravity with time. A possible survivor or her family may be living with unanswered questions. If nothing happened, the public needs clarity, grounded in professional investigations. What the chair has just told me in the response. Madam Speaker, do you know we have what is appearing in textbook, in structures in government, but not the reality on the ground. I mean, this country needs something like Magufuli style or Karissa Maitha, where you just take the bull by the horn and do something about it. Just this week, there's been a disturbing TikTok video of teenage boys harassing women in broad daylight, grabbing them, slapping them, dragging them, schoolgirls into videos without their consent. Why? Because they're looking for likes. That is sexual harassment. What are we doing about it? Madam Speaker, as I said, we are in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. There is Rita Mweni, Roysambu, Starlet Wahu, South B, Mary Wangui, Kasarani, Christine Soeta, Kakamega, Brenda, an MKU student in Thika, Irene Ayemba, and then there's Abigail. Abigail, here in Kasarani. Now, I want you to listen to this because you always interrogate Interior, okay? When Abigail's mother called recently and asked, what is the status of the investigation on my daughter? This is what the police told her. Wait, we have other cases. And then here you're telling me that we have structures and we are doing what is necessary, we are giving counseling, we are investigating. No, we are failing, okay? Honorable Speaker, no parent should have to hear that, wait, we have other cases. It is a reflection that the system is overstretched, it's under-resourced, and at times lacking in compassion. The Models Association have come to me and said they work in fear. They walk in fear. And I will be arranging for them during this period of 16 days of activism, not by bringing a question here anymore, but by taking them to the PS of Interior, to the DIG and the DCI. I've actually spoken to the DCI personally and told him, we need a human heart, we need compassion, we need to do something more than just say this is a case or a file.
Honorable Passaris, eh?
No, Madam Speaker.
I'm being magnanimous, eh?
Yes.
Because you started with talking about the 16 days of activism.
Yes.
But I would like you to specifically go to this matter that you had raised.
Yes.
So that the chair, if you are satisfied by the response that has been given, specifically on this one.
Yeah, but Madam Speaker, when it comes to this one, Pastor Ng'ang'a had already went to the DCI. He recorded questions. They're coming back to me on whether the AI clip is I mean, even for me, it's a bit ridiculous to tell me that we're still going to investigate whether it's AI or not. It is not AI. And now you're also going to the church to look at the congregants who listened. Pastor Ng'ang'a has owned up to this clip. So that is telling me you're wasting a lot of time. Get to the details, all right? There is a woman out there. Probably she died. Probably she bore a child. Probably she got HIV, right? You're not telling me how you're going to identify in that area where the rape was concerned. Was there a reported case? Can you reach out? I've seen America solve cases with forensic. 30 years past. What are we doing? Where is our forensics working? Is it working? And then when it comes to Pastor Nganga, do you know, I want to say, it is not, when you seek forgiveness from God, right? It's more than just becoming a reformed person. It is also going and making peace with those people that you wronged. And if he wants, we should find the victim. And we should actually come out clearly that rape is not right. Madam Speaker, I want to take you to what's going on in South Africa today. Because it's so important. It will happen in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, South Africa recorded this year alone 5,475 femicide cases. And now it's been declared a national disaster. We don't want to head there, but we are almost heading there. And we're heading there because there are files like that one of Abigail, right? And this one of the victim of who was gang raped 8 times. I want you to imagine this. Gang raped by 8 women, left there lying like a dog. Those were his exact words. And you're coming here and telling me you're still concerned about the AI video? Get it real. It's not about the AI video. The AI video, coming and clarifying to me that the AI video is actually an original, and the church members have said this and said that, find me the survivor. Find me justice for the survivor. Tell me what happened with this case. There must have been a patient in a hospital. There must have been a police case reported. There might have been a dead body. You can look at your records over 10 years. Where is the forensics? We should be able to solve these cases. These files of women who have been raped and killed in Kenya, and I've mentioned the names, they're gathering dust. The police are too busy. They have no compassion. They are bribed by perpetrators, and nobody is getting justice. So this was one case that you could have run with, but here you are interviewing the people who had the clip. That is not the case. The case is about the survivor. Tell me what you're doing about the survivor. You have not responded to me about the survivor. Abigail's case, they said they have no reagents to do the DNA with the chief prime suspect who was arrested, probably released and out at large to rape his next victim.
Thank you, Honorable
Madam
Passaris.
Speaker, this is serious.
Honorable Passaris, we fully understand that this is a serious matter. Chair, would you like to make a comment on this? Do you have specific timelines? Do the police have the ability? Do they have the financing that is needed? Do they have the tools that are needed? And are there any timelines that you are going to give the Honorable Passaris?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to thank Honorable Passaris, first of all, for raising this particular matter. And indeed, if we must take this country serious, any crime by anybody, it doesn't matter at what level they operate in this country, nobody is above the law. And Pastor Nganga, whoever he is, I don't know him, he must be a personality who is known. He cannot take raping of a woman as a joke. And that is why the DCI had to call him. But the issue why AI came into the picture in this particular matter, his honorable colleague wanted to find out if this was actually an AI or it is a true thing that this gentleman talked from the pulpit. And that is why sometimes when you raise questions in Parliament, please don't try to mix things. Let us call a spade a spade.